Oh my gosh, this logo freaks me out so much. I walk by it on bus signs and I'm like, ah!
Yes, it's very holy.
I love the idea of the hive mind, you know?
They do the best. They have the coolest people that do these things. I know, driving up Sunset in LA, it's always like, there it is.
American Horror Story.
Yes.
I read an interview, you said this is your favorite season because there's nothing supernatural and that makes it the scariest.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I've been on the show for 3 years, and this is definitely my favorite. And I think it is the scariest because there's no boogeyman.
Yes, there is.
Well, yes. But there's no, it's not something that's a monster hiding under your bed or some kind of weird ghost. It's a person. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, I mean, look at this world that we're living in. I mean,
well, today's the anniversary.
I do.
Of the election.
Of the day, yes.
And I was thinking about that watching the episode last night. And I think we're going to just assume that everyone's seen the episode.
Okay.
So spoiler alert, if you haven't, maybe pause this and come back to it later. I thought your character, Dr. Rudy Vincent, was gone for good from the season.
Yeah.
But you showed up almost like you were in an episode of The Walking Dead.
I know. That you never know what's going to happen on Horror Story. You never know even if you've already been killed, if you're going to come back. And that's kind of the fun. It's kind of the fun of the show. Ryan just keeps us on our toes. And yeah, I thought it was totally done. And then I was reading the script. I'm like, what? He said no ghosts this year. And then I'm like, oh, hallucination. I see. But listen, I love special effects makeup. And one of my favorite shows is Face Off. I got to be a judge on it this year because I was always talking about Face Off in the American Horror Story makeup room. I would always jokingly say, okay, everybody put your brushes down. It's just a thing. If you watch the show, you know what it is. But they found out that I was a big fan, and then so I got to go on. So I say that because I'm a big special effects fan. So anytime I get to be like creepy with prosthetics and sit there for 3 hours, it's really cool to me, the artistry that they have. So
how in the filming of a show like this that's episodic, how far in advance do you find out what your storyline is? Do you know from the beginning how many episodes you're going to be on, your character's background, how it's all going to end? Or do you find out episode to episode?
It changes every year. It's roughly how many you're going to do, and roughly kind of what your arc is going to be, but every year it seems to change a little bit. I knew that I was going to be doing most of the episodes this year, but I didn't know I was going to die. And I assumed, you always assume you're going to die.
Well, everybody pretty much
It's a rite of passage on the show, and it's always to see who's going to die in the grossest way and who's going to. But no, as far as notice, I honestly, the script gets sent to our houses, and I was sitting at the table. My kids hadn't gone down for bed, and I was like, okay. And I was reading, and I noticed I have a lot of scenes in this episode, and that usually doesn't bode well. So I was like, oh no.
I am happy just to see you with both hands fully intact today.
Yes.
That poor little pinky.
I know. They gave me it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, no, we only had one. We only had one to do it, and Evan was like, Evan, make sure you get it, and we need to do it in one, because it was a whole thing. And so we had one prosthetic, and afterwards it fell on the ground, and we were done. I was like, can I have that?
Where is it now?
It's on my shelf.
I want you to bronze it.
With all my other treasures.
What other treasures do you have?
Oh, little things from shows, just little props and things, and I just I have weird little things.
That's the stuff my dreams are made of. Do you have something from Xanadu on Broadway?
Oh yeah. Well, I have my costume.
Your little tiny shorts. Iconic.
Shorts. I have my headband. I'll have the whole costume, and then I have wristbands. And no, I keep stuff from everything so I can remember. And
what did you save from Finian's Rainbow?
Finian's Rainbow. That I wore this leather vest that they custom made for me. I'm like, that's not going to fit anybody else. So, so just so I can have it. So yeah, I have this leather vest that I wore.
I want to go through your entire career and talk about all the things.
It's pretty fun.
Did you save anything from the production of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat you did in Seattle? Look how I'm showing off my research.
Stalker. What did I say from Joseph?
Superfan and Stalker are not the same thing.
I love it. No, I'm kidding. I love that.
You don't really have to answer that.
I think I did. I'm sure I did. I probably have something. I probably have a fake, a gold headpiece or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Someday you'll donate it all to Broadway Cares and make them a fortune. I want first dibs on that pinky, even though that's so gross.
No.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, since you're a special effects guy, how did they create that illusion? Did they have to match your skin tone? What is it made of? How did
for my hand?
Yeah.
It was a fake hand.
Oh, the whole hand was fake.
Yeah, the whole hand was fake. So I had to sit in a mold for about 45 minutes with my hand exactly like me and Evan hold it a certain way. And so I had to sit there like that and just wait for it to harden, and then they pulled it off, and then they make the negative of it, and then they pour the stuff in, and then it hardens, and then it's pliable, and then they paint it, and they put even like little hairs. It's amazing. And then when it came time for that actual part, we do the whole scene, we get all the coverage, and then they bring out the arm. And then my arm is back here, and somebody was holding the hand for me, and then I'm pretending that it's my hand, but really there's like a girl holding the arm up. And then, Evan and I are like, and then it clips, and then it's all highly choreographed.
Well, while you have that out there, let's do it. Cheyenne Jackson.
Yes.
What are you most afraid of?
Ooh. Well, this isn't very funny, but I'm most afraid of, now that I'm a dad, my fears really are all about my kids. I'm just always worried if something's going to happen to them. I'm afraid of not being able to provide for them. I'm afraid they're going to get sick.
Aww.
Normal stuff that people are parents, it's not all about you anymore. My life is about my kids and my family. So everything that the stuff that I used to be afraid of, flying and I don't know, just kind of things that you shouldn't really necessarily be afraid of because they're out of your control. Not so much anymore. It's really about like Willow and Ethan.
Well, they are adorable.
Thank you.
Everybody follow Cheyenne on Instagram just for the baby pictures. I have to put aside time. I know that I keep sounding more and more like a stalker, but they're so cute.
Sweet. No.
And I figure if you're putting it out there, I'm going to consume it.
Here's the thing, and I have something to say about this because, social media is a thing now. Excuse me. Let me take a little sip of my Diet Coke. When I had kids, I was wondering, how much of them am I going to share? This is a personal thing, but they are my family, and they are, they don't have a choice whether or not their faces are out there. And I think when they get into school, it's going to be a different story. But here's how I look at it. Honestly, and I only share maybe 1/8 of the pictures and the videos that I take. We are inundated with so much joy and love on a daily basis. I mean, these little pumpkins it's so much for Jason and I to handle on our own. So I have to kind of let off some of the love steam or I'll explode. And I'm not being silly about it. Honestly, it's so much that I have to get to share it because otherwise I'll sit there and just stare at them all day. And it's too much, so yeah.
Well, yeah, when we're faced with frightening images like the American Horror Story logo, getting a little cute baby in a Halloween costume or two is not the worst antidote.
It's just the best.
Definitely don't think you have to worry about providing for them. You have a movie in theaters tonight.
Yeah.
Called Hello Again, a movie musical. Can you tell people about that?
Yeah, sure. It's based on Michael John LaCuse's piece Hello Again. It was an off-Broadway musical, and it's based on La Ronde, and it's really beautiful. It's very it's like a poem kind of. It's about 10 different couples. And it's their connection through time, and it's really fun. Really great cast.
All-star cast.
Yeah, trying to think. Everybody. There's so many names.
Audra McDonald
and
Martha Plimpton.
Rumor Willis.
You have an incredible, very sexy scene with Tyler Blackburn.
Yes. Yes. I was really
Jenna
proud of him.
Ushkowitz is in it.
Ushkowitz.
Go back to talking about Tyler.
Sure. Yeah, I love Tyler. I don't watch Pretty Little Liars, but I know people love it, and so I was excited to meet him. And he was so, he's never sung live on camera before, and he has a beautiful voice. But it was a new experience for him, and it's very intimate. And a movie like this, you don't get much time. We really shot all of our stuff in 2 days. And it's really hi, how are you? And then you have to get naked, and then you have to be singing live and also try to really connect and do a great job as well. So we really tried to just create a connection between the two of us that was authentic, and he's fun. He's really fun and sweet, and I think he's really good in the movie.
You guys have a lot of chemistry. Thanks. And then you also have some very sexy scenes with Audra.
Woohoo!
This film is in theaters starting tonight, just for 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
And for an indie movie to be on 250 screens across the country is pretty remarkable. I've actually gotten to see it. I've seen it multiple times. I did a little collaboration with the social media team, so I got like an inside track. And I cannot recommend it more highly.
Yeah.
It's almost like 10 different little musicals, and you are the star of 2 of them, one with Tyler and one with Audra.
Right.
And the whole cast is just fantastic.
Yeah, you know, you get to do some of these indie movies every once in a while between stuff, and oftentimes they go away, or they kind of end up quickly on you can order it, you can like watch it at home, but it's rare that you actually get to be in a theater and do it. So it's a cool thing. I'm really proud of those guys.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys too.
Thanks.
I also understand you have a new show.
Yeah.
Coming out next year.
That's right.
Tell us everything.
It's called American Woman.
Unrelated to American Horror
I only
Story.
do shows with American in the title. This is called American Woman, and it's based on, you guys know Kyle Richards from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Yeah, she's Paris Hilton's aunt.
That's
right.
Yeah. That's right. Well, she was a child actress, and her Sister Kim Richards were very busy child actresses in a lot of things, and this is her life story. So she's the executive producer, and basically Alicia Silverstone plays her mom.
Oh my God!
And it's set in 1975. So, and it's about these 3 women: Alicia Silverstone, this woman named Jennifer Bartels, who's so funny and great, and then Mina Suvari, so great. And it's about feminism, and it's about what was it like for these women in 1975 in Hollywood. And it's really good. It's groovy and fun, and we're all really transformed in it because of the time frame.
Who do you play?
I play Mina Suvari's boyfriend.
Okay.
And really fun to work with her. She plays like a boozy, sexy, kind of like Farrah Fawcett type character, and who's obsessed with being skinny. And it's just, there's a lot to relate because we all have our own issues, and it's really sweet. I've seen the first 4 episodes, and it's really good. It's really cute. And my kids came and saw me on set when I was fully in I have like this long Dukes of Hazzard wig and a mustache, and they were looking at me like,
that guy kind of looks like our dad.
Yeah, it was cute. It was fun to see if they recognized me. I think Willow did. I'm not sure Ethan did.
He was like, get me away from this weird stranger.
Who's this man? Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned Alicia Silverstone, because I think maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen you do on stage was the tragically short-lived The Performers, which I saw twice, and it closed early because of Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
And I have a T-shirt that every time I wear it, people are like, The Performers, I love that.
See, it's a small, I love if you're saying that, because that is one of my favorite stage performances and experiences I've ever had. I thought it was a really sweet show. Really great characters,
Sweet is such a funny but totally accurate word for this was a play about the pornography industry. Cheyenne played Mandrew.
Yes, Mandrew. And Ari Grainer was my wife.
I would like to say publicly that Ari should have gotten a Tony nomination, if not the Tony that season.
Had the show run longer than it had, she for sure would have.
A show has to run 8 performances after previews in order to be eligible for the Tonys.
I didn't know that.
And the Performers closed after 7. So it was like the producers could have kept it open one more day.
Oh, so close.
But yeah, so I believe that show would have had all the accolades if it could have just stayed open one more performance.
It was one of those things, but it was really, really fun. And yeah, Alicia was in that, and Daniel Breaker, and Henry Winkler. Yeah. So
what a cast.
Yeah.
I want that to come back for like a benefit or something.
Something.
It's so good.
I know. The Performers. This is the 3rd time I've worked with Alicia too. We did a pilot a couple years ago. We just keep coming back. She's so good in the show. People were gonna.
When do we get to see it, and where?
It's going to be on the Paramount Network. It's a new channel.
Great.
Because we need one more channel.
Of course, there aren't enough channels.
But they have some great programming, and they're launching with 4 or 5 really big shows. It's going to be, I think, end of January. And so. You
also have 2 or 3 albums. You have 2 solo albums and then the Michael Feinstein duets album, right?
Yes.
Are you still writing music? Are you still creating for yourself as a recording artist?
To be totally honest, this year has been so crazy, being a dad, and then 6 months ago I lost my dad.
Oh.
So thanks, and that just changes everything. It changes what you want to spend your time doing. Honestly, it has made me. I haven't really wanted to be on stage singing. I haven't felt like it. It's been really tough on the family and tough on me and my mom and siblings. But recently, I started doing some concerts again. I've done maybe 3 or 4 in the last couple months, and it's kind of reignited my love for singing and falling back in love with singing. And I have written a couple little songs. I wrote one on the plane out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, definitely. I miss New York. I miss musicals. I miss the community. When I get here, I walk through Schubert Alley and just look at all the stuff, and it's definitely, it's my heart's desire. That's why I moved to New York in the first place in 2002. So
I love that story, by the way. For people who don't know about how you decided to go from you worked at a bank or something. Was it a bank?
Yeah.
In Seattle, and then you thought life's too short.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, 9/11 happened, and we had a death in our family in that time too. And both of those things, it was like I felt the clock ticking, and I wanted to. Everybody had always said you should move to New York, and so that was my impetus to come out to New York. And my very first audition was for Thoroughly Modern Millie on Broadway, and I booked it, and. Yeah, I just walked past the marquee. Millie.
Can you walk through Times Square or anywhere without getting mobbed?
Are you
so
kidding
famous
me?
now.
No. No. You know who's famous? Sarah Paulson. And I'll tell you this. So I just went to Dear Evan Hansen the other night with Sarah. And
how'd you get tickets?
Told
some
I know
strings.
a guy.
Yeah. Sarah knows a guy.
Yeah, right? No, we didn't know that we were going at the same time.
Oh, really?
We just saw each other there and ended up sitting together and experiencing it together. But I could talk for hours about that show and what that show has done for me in the last 48 hours. I'm obsessed and transformed, but that's another show.
We'll have you back to talk about that.
Oh, my God. Ben is an animal. He's an animal. What was I talking about? Oh, famous.
Yeah.
Oh, so Sarah. So, she's a friend. I've known her for 10 years. And, we've worked together on Horror Story. But in the last, 3 years, she's all of a sudden super famous. And I think when you're friends with somebody before they become famous, you kind of forget how famous they are. And so here we are at Evan, and people were mobbing her. It was crazy. And I said to her, I'm like, I always forget that and she's like, I know, I do too. Is that bad? I'm like, that's what we love about you, because you always keep it real. So anyway, it's fun to see.
Does want to approach you in public, what's the best way for them to do it to not interfere with your life, but also let you know that you're appreciated?
Just say hello. Yeah, no,
hello.
I'm very easy. Yeah, no, I'm not like, hey, you guys. No, please. I just think the more people are so afraid to talk to people anymore. You look around and everybody's looking down on their phone, not even looking up. So I just feel like, just look people in the eye. I've been trying to do that. It's harder than you think. I know.
Looking in your eyes is not hard.
Oh,
I could do it all day. Let's just take that creep factor away, wipe that off.
Not a creep factor.
And let's take some questions from the audience.
Okay.
Oh, so first of all, you're a great actor. I think you're amazing. I just want to ask, how did you get involved with Ryan Murphy? Because I first saw you in Hotel, so I have known any of your work before that.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you. That's very sweet. How did I meet Ryan? Ryan came to Xanadu on Broadway and saw me after that, and we talked, and he said he wanted, he was talking about Glee coming up. So I auditioned to be Mr. Shu in Glee. Had a good audition, but didn't get it. Matt Morrison did. He was a friend, and it's fine, whatever. But then they hired me for season 2 to be his rival on Glee, and that's how it happened. And Ryan we had this kind of good symbiotic relationship. Then he hired me to do a pilot for him a few years later on HBO that didn't end up going, and then for Hotel. Ryan asked me to do a spin class with him in LA. It's a very LA thing to do, is take spin together. So we're in the spin class, and Ryan's like, as we're on the bikes, he's like, hey, do you want to be married to Lady Gaga and be a fashion designer this season? I'm like, huh? Excuse me? So that's how it happened. And then he asked me back last year and then again this year. So.
Speaking of Gaga, can we just encourage everyone to go to your Twitter to watch your Edge of Glory soundcheck video because you nailed it.
Thanks.
It was beautiful.
I have to say, I put that on there, and I was reading some comments, and so many people don't know that I sing, and it drives my mom crazy. They're like, "You sing?" And she's like, "Of course you sing," but I was thinking, people only know what they know. So if I don't sing, then no one's gonna know I sing.
I think maybe you should sing something.
I think I should sing on my show or sing.
I meant right now, but I guess I don't need to,
There ain't a reason you and me should be alone tonight, yeah, baby.
Woo! See, you're not going to get it if you don't ask.
That's right.
Thank you for indulging us.
Here's somebody just told me this recently, which I love. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Deep.
I love it.
It's deep.
Would anyone like to ask Cheyenne anything? We have time for a couple more questions.
Hey, so I was wondering, what was your favorite scene to film during the American Horror Story?
Yeah, all time, or?
Time.
Ooh, man. Okay, let me think. There's been a lot. My favorite scene. In Hotel, there was a scene. Just because of the scope of it was so fun. It was during, we were prepping for the fashion show, and I'm walking down these stairs with Naomi Campbell, and we're surveying all these beautiful models. There's Sarah Paulson in the corner with her crazy hair, and she's like smoking and crying. And then we go around the corner, and then Dennis O'Hare is like Liz Taylor, and then Wes Bentley is in the corner, and then Gaga and Matt Bomer are sitting there. And it was one of those moments where you're like, is this real life? I can't believe I get to do this. And it was just, I felt super cool. So I'd say, yeah, that's probably my fave. Yeah.
One more?
Hi.
So I know you from the Broadway, and
Nice.
I'm new to the city and wanting to be on Broadway like what you did. Do you have any advice for aspiring actors?
Sure.
Book your first audition.
Yeah, right. Listen, so many things. I'll just off the top of my head, the best advice is to don't be an asshole. I'm serious. That will get you a long ways. Being nice to people, being prepared. When you're going into something, actually know what it's about, know what it's for. Don't just do the bare minimum for an audition. We all get inundated with stuff. But if you actually dig into it and make it, don't try to be what you think people want you to be in an audition. I spent years doing that. I looking the way I do, I get sent certain scripts because people expect me to be a certain way. And I would try to be like the lawyer or something. And it was so inauthentic to me that I just ended up basically taking a big crap on the floor in the audition room. Horrible. Once I realized, no, that's not me. I'm me. I am weird, and I do weird kicks. And once you figure out what your thing is, just hone in on that, and that's going to make you set you apart. Don't try to be what you think people want you to be. That was what I would say.
I'm also reminded of a story that you told once about how when you were in Seattle, when you'd have a bit part, you made sure you were always in the wings observing the leads so that when the time came for you to be the lead, you didn't have to try to figure out from scratch what a lead looks like.
That's right. Because I didn't go to college, I always felt like I was a little bit at a disadvantage in New York. I didn't go to NYU. I didn't go to Tisch. I didn't major in anything. So when I was in something and I wasn't on stage, I was in the wings watching the people that were out there, learning and studying and focusing and learning by osmosis. I really feel like that's the best way, learning by watching. Obviously learning by doing, but watching people and stealing from people. We all steal from each other. We all steal little bits or funny little voices and things. But just stay watching, stay observant, stay learning, stay interested in people.
The vast array of different kinds of work that you've done is really remarkable. From the Standards album to playing several different characters on this horror television show to playing, sort of the purest, sweetest musical theater characters like in Finian's Rainbow, to playing, Elvis, and, just you've done so much, and you're such a gift to the entertainment industry. I can't wait for you to come back to the Broadway stage.
Thank
in the
you.
meantime, I'm thrilled that we can watch you on the small screen in American Horror Story, on the big screen in Hello Again, and next year on the small screen in a whole new way with American Woman. Cheyenne Jackson, you were just a gift. I'm so thrilled to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hug it.